Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? See all we've got here with us. Thanks for joining me for coffee. I've been meaning to do these morning coffee live streams for a while, but I'm just now getting around to it. But hope to make this a regular feature. I talked about having Lee G come on at some point with me and being, playing the music and doing kind of a, he could be the Paul Schaefer to my David Letterman type thing, but just doing it solo today. My coffee is Dunkin'. I'm transplanted New Englander. I love it here, and they've got the best coffee here, or anywhere for that matter. If you've got a Dunkin' Donuts in your town, give it a try if you haven't already. And this is a unsolicited endorsement. I love Dunkin'. Who have we got? Lorraine Yanas. Hope I'm saying that right. The brown acid said he already had his coffee. We'll have another, brother. You can't have too much coffee. Um, that's hot. Good to see you from Sydney. Hello down under. Sasha Bill, thank you for being here. And of course, Midnight Society, the lovely Nicole, my beautiful wife and better half. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. I love you. Um, Miss Anonymous, you like the early morning streams? Like I said, it will probably be a regular feature. I hope you can hear me okay. I can't hear myself very well in the cans. I did remember to turn the music down this time. I've done that before where I left the music playing while I was talking, and then everybody in the chat's like, oh, the music, turn the music down. D-Rock's here. And Sasha Bill, thank you for dropping that link. Yeah, I'm having a fall book sale. If you want signed copies of my books, these three, Strange Things in the Woods, and then my autobiographical My Strange World, and Volume 1 of the National Park Mysteries and Disappearances series, The Great Smoky Mountains. I've got these in the Etsy shop. Again, that's the only ones I have there right now. And I've got them 25% off through the end of the month. So you can get a signed copy cheaper than you can get it on Amazon that's not signed. So go over there and check that out if you'd like to have a copy. I'll sign it, personalize it, put anything in there that you want me to say with the exception of an IOU or adding you to my will. But got some other stuff. Smooth Sense Co. has some candles that we have listed in our shop. Go check those out. Seasonal and Halloween candles, soy wax candles and stuff that our friend Samantha makes. And let's see what else we got going on here. Let me say hi to some more people here. Euphemia Manzer. Good morning from New Mexico. I had a recent transplant from there. The high desert wasn't my thing. I don't like the heat anymore, not like I used to. I much prefer it here in New England. Mary Lou's is a good coffee. I'm not sure where that's at. Slow Boy Whiteboard, good to see you. I know you bought some books from me. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you, Midnight Society. So my audio is 5x5 there, so that's good. Uh, Sabotai, am I saying that right? Having coffee right now. Yeah, I had the little coffee videos and stuff that I was going to play, but I just, oh, it's chilly here in New England this morning. It was, I think 40 something degrees, and maybe that was yesterday. It all kind of runs together. 52 degrees right now, cloudy. I love these cloudy, rainy days here in New England. Fall is just around the corner. Got my collar turned up against the cold. Um, Nicole and I went out walking in an old cemetery the other day in the rain and fog, and it was magical. That's the best time I've had in a long time. Ian, myself, early. I'm not sure how early it is, depending on where you are. 9 o'clock here in New England, so that's 6 a.m. on the West Coast, and in England right now, it's like 2 p.m. So that's late for coffee over there if you're watching, and no idea what time it is down under. But I know I have a lot of fans from Australia and New Zealand, and appreciate you guys too. It's a little bit hard. Usually watch Jason Burmas. Thank you for coming over here and sit with us this morning. Straw Dog, how you doing, John? Hope everything's going well in your part of New England. Kaz Kelly, how you doing? I believe Kaz is down under too. There's one place down under where they have a time zone that's only like a half hour difference. That would so confuse me. I lived on the West Coast for over 20 years. And then when I moved to New Mexico, it was one time zone east, and it threw my whole game off. I didn't have any clue. And prior to that, I'd always lived on East Coast time. And, but it took me a while to get, excuse me, took me a while to get used to the West Coast time. But I'd finally settled on that and then said move to Mountain Time Zone. And what? I'm lucky if I even knew what day it was, let alone what time it was. I could tell daylight from dark, but only by being able to look outside and see. But love fall, welcome fall. D-Rock, I think I said hi to you. H.M. Meyer, greetings from the Netherlands. Hey there, good to see you. K. Rennie Warren, hey, how you doing? Oh, Mary Lou's is specific to New England. I will have to check that out for sure then. Jaded Bell, good morning. Oh, look at that. Sasha Bell. She's in Texas. Still in the 80s and 90s. No, thank you. Lots of evergreens, too. Oh, I don't get those fall colors. That is a shame. Like I said, they're just starting to change here. I haven't been out today. I don't think I went out yesterday either, other than just to walk Mulder. But when we drive around a bit, you see the colors, especially off in the distance. They're starting to change. Another week or so should be at peak season. But I'll get some pictures. Okay, Kaz is in Australia. I was thinking you were down under, Kaz. She's a long time viewer. Hey, Lindsay, Grey Wolf Paranormal. Good to see you. And Jada Bell said they're in humid Atlanta. Heat is smothering there. I hope you get some relief there in hot Atlanta. They don't call it that for nothing, right? Let's see how many I got. 28 watching now. 28 early risers. I didn't used to be an early riser, but I am now. Enjoy getting up early. So Jimmy Buffett song, changes in latitude, changes in attitude. I love it here. Yeah, Slow Boy, it wasn't that. It was creepy to an extent. I got some pictures that I'll be using on some stuff. Nicole made my picture against, I think it's a receiving vault or something there, the old brick building with odd woodwork on it and stuff. Hey, there's my friend Rocco from New Jersey. How you doing, buddy? Pardon me, I had to clear my throat. Still getting used to everything out here. The sinuses haven't been too bad this year. Normally, every fall and every spring, I have sinus issues. But I think it's almost over for the most part here. It was a little rough there a few days. My voice was kind of hoarse. And spring here, Jenny Hogg says she must be down under. Their seasons are different from ours. We're just going into fall. They're just going into spring. Who else did I see? Stringfellow Hawk. Wales, UK. That's a mystic and marvelous land of Wales. I didn't spend a whole lot of time there when I was in the UK back in the 80s, but it's a strange yet wonderful country. I love Wales. Somebody says, cool damp weather is so good to my psyche, but not good for my sinuses, indeed. But it is something anywhere I go. When I lived down south, it was the humidity and the leaves and the ragweed and grass and things like that during the warmer months. And then when I moved to Florida, the I don't know what down there I was allergic to, but I was allergic to stuff there. Then moved to Las Vegas, and the dust in the Mojave there bothered the sinuses. And then I moved to Oregon, and then in Oregon it was all the flowering plants and trees and stuff there kept me torn up. Then in New Mexico, it was the dust and the sand again. And here, like I said, it's not as bad here as it has been in the past. I don't even know if they have ragweed here where I'm at, but what are you going to do? We'll just continue on. Love it. Yeah, hot in Washington State. That's kind of unusual for this time of year. Now, when I lived in the Pacific Northwest, that was some of the rainiest places I've ever lived in. I love the rain. Rainy, cloudy, overcast day. That gets me going creative wise. And Nicole loves it too. We are absolutely each other's person. The other morning it was overcast, cold, rainy. We're sitting here on the couch eating Monster cereal and watching reruns of Are You Afraid of the Dark, the old Nickelodeon show from which she gets her Midnight Society moniker. Hey, Ozark Hillbilly, how you doing, buddy? Starting to get some color down there in the mountains. Yeah, Miss Anonymous. Yeah, I've had the gypsy blood, the wanderlust. It's just I like to travel around, but I'm a New Englander for life now. I'm happy being here. Happiest I've ever been. I love it here even more than I did where I grew up in East Tennessee. Um, East Tennessee's just not the way it was when I was a kid. It's changed. Everything's overcrowded. Just the sprawl, and I think the area where I grew up, my parents had 26 acres out in the rural West Knox County. Now I think there's a subdivision or something in there. All my hiking trails and stone circles and things that I had set up long gone. But it was a wonderful place to grow up in that time and exploring the woods. And we had 7 natural springs on the property that flowed into a bigger creek, which went down into the river, which was later a lake after TVA dammed it up. But it was a great place as a kid. I spent a lot of time in the woods, building shelters and lean-tos and campfires and tree forts and clubhouses. Um, there was an old abandoned graveyard a couple of miles down the road, and some other kids and I built a clubhouse in there, not over any of the graves, just in the edge of the graveyard, but it was in the graveyard. And the other kids wouldn't mess with us because like, that's those crazy kids that have a clubhouse in the graveyard. But never felt anything too out of the ordinary there. I've spent the night in that clubhouse before. Jason Thomas, Melbourne, Australia in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Ms. Net. Sarah Claire, another. Got a lot of people from down under here. Um, no idea what time it is there for you. Must be a good time to watch YouTube. And like I said, it's 9:15 here in New England, 6:15 on the West Coast. Haven't seen Callie Snyder pop in. He usually shows up. He's in Hawaii. I think it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning or something in Hawaii. I think they're 5 hours behind the West Coast. So 11:15. Is that AM, Jason, in Melbourne? And I've got some new books out. In addition to my books that are on Amazon and the ones you can order signed copies of through my Etsy store, I've got another publisher now, Free Reign Publishing, and over there I've got my Mysteries in the Dark series, which is a lot of fun to write. Let me see. I think I have a slide of that I can throw up here. Where'd it go? This is the fun of doing a one-man show, and Nicole does help me with the production, but as far as everything, the clicky and the stuff in StreamYard, it's all me. There we go. Mysteries in the Dark. There's 8 volumes of that there if you enjoy great spooky stories. Go check those out. And I've got another series that's based off my 13 Past Midnight channel. And it's called 13 Past Midnight. There's, I think, 3 volumes of that are available now. And you can get signed copies of that as well. But they, Mysteries in the Dark and the 13 Past Midnight stuff, that doesn't show up in the Etsy store yet, but you can still order signed copies from that page. Let me see if I can show you that link over there. Doing this with one monitor instead of the 2 that I usually have. Free Reign Publishing. There we go. Bear with me. I hope this works. When I had 2 monitors, I could see what was being shared. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's the Free Reign Publishing.com/Steve Stockton. They also publish true crime and medical thrillers. And see, I hope this is moving for you there. There's the first 8 Mysteries in the Dark series. And there's the first 3, 13 Past Midnight. And those are like true experiences that people have had on the 13 Past Midnight. And there's more volumes of that coming soon. And then here's my other books that are on Amazon, or you get an autographed copy. If you click on that, on these, it takes you to my Etsy shop. Strange Things in the Woods, my first book, it was back at #1 for a couple of days last week. I don't know if that ever moved or not. Can't see that it moved. Anyway, let me just drop a link for that. You can go check it out. freerainbooks.com/Steve Stockton. And appreciate you supporting my endeavors and keeping me off the street. There we go. And I got some other great news to announce. I have 35 of you in here watching this morning. Thank you for being here, joining me for a cup of coffee. Hey, Roderick Roach. Sorry, I didn't see that. StreamYard doesn't show me the... Okay, yeah, there it does. Let me see if I can show it there. Yeah, there we go. Roderick Roach. What's up, Steve? Shout out from the great state of Virginia. Hey there. There's some cool places in Virginia. Thank you for the super sticker there, Roderick. I appreciate that. Super chat, rather. Kathy Evans is here, too. Lots of stuff in Virginia. I love Damascus, Virginia. You can get on the Appalachian Trail there or get off the Appalachian Trail there. I hiked from the Georgia terminus up through the Smokies years and years ago and went all the way up to Damascus, and that was where I got off the trail. They also have trail days up there that are a lot of fun. And just a little ways down the road from Damascus is Abingdon, Virginia, and that's a lot of fun. The Barter Theater's there. It's haunted theater. And just across the road is the Martha Washington Inn, and it is super, super haunted and active. I've stayed there a few times. Had some strange experiences. I'll talk about that sometime. But if you're in that part of Virginia, there's some great things to check out there. Got the Virginia Creeper Trail, which is right there in, I think that's the Jefferson National Forest. I've been in there lots and lots of times, and I can't remember. Vixen Fire, how do you do? Yeah, I need to post some more stuff on Spotify. I've got a ton of audio I can drop over there. I'll try to get to that this weekend. Got a lot of stuff going on right now, but I'll get caught up. It's just me. Good to see you. Polaris Sucks. How you doing, brother? Crystal Hunter, howdy from Alabama, or howdy from New England back to Alabama. You didn't say howdy, I did. Hey, Vixen Doe, another New Englander. How you doing? Good to see you. The great state of Maine. Now, I haven't been up there yet, but can't wait. We've got plans to go to Acadia National Park. That's a beautiful place, and I think fall would be the best time of year to go there, or any time of year. I've had a I felt drawn to Maine ever since I was a child. I was probably the only kid in East Tennessee, and I'm talking, 8, 9, 10 years old, that subscribed to Yankee magazine. There's good stories in there, and then their fall issue, they would always talk spooky stories from Maine and stuff. And of course, I grew up watching Dark Shadows on television, set in the fictional town of Collinsport, Maine. But I love that opening with the house up on the cliffs and the sea crashing and stuff. That's what I like to see when I go to the beach. I don't care for sun, sand, and surf. I want to go see the storms and the wave crashing on the rocks and stuff like that. That's more my idea of looking at the ocean. Western North Carolina, foothills of the Appalachians. Yeah, that's love East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park pretty much sits on the border. It's almost equally divided between Tennessee and North Carolina. Had a lot of good times in Western North Carolina on that side of the park. Been over to Cherokee, Banner Elk, Blowing Rock, Grandfather Mountain. And the latest video on here, go check that out. We talk about the Brown Mountain Lights. I've seen those several times. Those things are just inexplicable. And people have tried to explain it. I had somebody comment, "Oh, I think it's car lights," or okay, well, that wouldn't explain why they've been seeing them in there since the 1700s and before there was cars or trains or any kind of electric light in there. And they also talked about it maybe being electric in nature, like the tectonic plates shifting that causes those lights. That could be, but there was some scientists and geologists that went in there and studied the Brown Mountain Lights from, I mean, if they were from University of North Carolina or if they were from Duke or somewhere like that, but their results were inconclusive. They couldn't find a reason for it. So I can't explain it, but I've seen them, and they're wondrous. The first time I saw the Brown Mountain Lights, I thought it looked like somebody running through the trees with a dim fluorescent lantern. And then I spent the night up there overlooking Wiseman's Gorge at the overlook there. And the next morning when I got up, I could see the other side, and it's like sheer cliff faces. There's no way anybody could even walk through there, let alone run. Plus, I've seen those lights come up over the mountain. I've seen them swoop down through the valley. I've seen them go over Table Rock. I've seen them shoot over my head on the outlook on the other side. I've seen one light split into three. Sometimes they change colors. It ain't car lights, I'll tell you that. But Roderick, yeah, if you just Google Martha Washington Inn, there's a lot of stories there. There's a lady that they see in there dressed in Victorian clothing. She's got mud on her boots, but she's walking about 6 inches above the floor. And apparently, in that area where they see her, the floor was higher at one time, and they've done some construction in there. Lots of weird stuff there. There's used to be an old gentleman there that was a porter that had literally worked there since he was a kid, like a teenager or something. Now I'm talking probably in the 90s or so, and he was elderly then, and boy, he had some stories. They've seen all kinds of stuff. One night, I think it's in the entryway there, all the paintings fell off the wall at the same time, and they stood on end. They didn't fall down. They just landed standing up. What are the chances of one painting doing that? And then he said this was like half a dozen or something. There's a certain feel in parts of the Martha Washington Inn. Now, it's been everything. It was a girls' school, but I think the haunted part comes from it served as a morgue during the Civil War. During the wintertime, the ground was too frozen to bury the fallen soldiers, so they stored them in the basement of the Martha Washington Inn. And I think it probably didn't help it with its strange activity. I was staying in one of the haunted suites one time, And 3 o'clock in the morning on the dot, there was a rapid knocking on the walls, and it went around the room. Knock, 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 knock. And then this smell, like a wet dog, just totally enveloped the room. And then just as quickly as it went away. And I was talking to my friend there, the porter. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He's probably not even with us anymore. But he said the knocking at 3 a.m., that happens often. And the wet smell, the wet dog smell, he said other guests had talked about that. He said, but you think about it. He said those Civil War soldiers, their uniforms were wool. And if you'd been out marching or doing whatever in warmer weather, and it gets hot in Virginia, it gets humid in those mountains. You imagine wearing a wool uniform, how sweaty and dirty you get, and you know, they might go for weeks at a time without washing their clothes or even taking a bath. And if you think about wet wool, this is what he said. He said, you think about that, it might smell like a wet dog. But whatever it was, I heard the knocks, I smelled the smell, and then it just went away. There was nothing to account for it. But that's at the Martha Washington Inn in Abingdon, Virginia, right across the street, the Barter Theater. And I've never seen it or been down there, but supposedly there's a tunnel that goes under the road there from the Barter Theater to the Martha Washington Inn. And that was how all the big stars of the day that performed at the Barter Theater, that's how they would get from the Barter across the street to the theater. They had a subterranean tunnel that they would walk through. I would love to go down there and check that out if it exists. Now, I can't speak for the veracity of that, but that's what I've heard. And it's been a long time since I've been down there. Yeah, Sarah Claire, I think Nicole answered you there. We're going to go to Salem, Massachusetts for my birthday, which is Halloween. Now, we won't be there on Halloween. I want to avoid it Halloween night. I'll be doing a live stream, most likely. But I want to get to Salem. I've never been to Salem, and that's on our list of stuff to do. Got to get up to Maine. Been to Connecticut, been to Massachusetts, been to Rhode Island. Love Rhode Island, beautiful state. A lot of stuff going on up there. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that, Ian. Didn't have to blame YouTube there. Let's see. Sabotai. I was recently at the Thomas Messick abduction site. Something huge was stalking us. It had massive dark energy, made super loud scream, and made massive large movements in the tree line. Yeah, that'd be a no from me. I've been some places like that where I felt like I was being followed. I felt like I was being stalked. I was just talking about Damascus, Virginia, the Jefferson National Forest. There I was in that. I felt something. I was in there like 2 o'clock in the morning, night hiking. And there was something following me, flanking me off to the side. That was the night I got pelted with small stones from an unseen something in the woods from different directions. And I didn't even know I was getting hit with the stones. I heard them dropping on the ground. I looked down. It was like these little round river rock type things. And they were coming straight out of the forest. There was no arc or parabola to them. It's like something was just hurling them straight at me. And I picked one of them up, and it was warm to the touch. And I was out in the middle of the woods. I was a long way from any river where anybody or anything could have gotten any river rocks easily. But I turned around and went the other way. And I thought about that in years after. And I'd heard tree knocks and stuff that night. I've had people tell me it was probably some sort of a Sasquatch type creature. But that they told me that it wasn't after me, it was warning me. So it was trying to get me to go the other way because there was probably something in there that I didn't want to run into in the dark. Maybe a bear or a big cat or a human predator, who knows. So But thanks, whatever it was, for pelting me with rocks and making me turn around and go a different direction. Well, Kelly, you've lived a lot of places too. And didn't live in California, but when I lived in Las Vegas, I used to go drive over into California and go the back way and go through Joshua Tree and then that way to get over to California. And it's beautiful over there. Yeah, I got to take Midnight Society. Nicole got to take her on a trip to California and take her to L.A. and show her the sights. And if you're in Southern California, you're going to be there. And if he still does it, the Dearly Departed tour is a really, really good tour. And there's a lot of places to sightsee, a lot of the graves of the rich and famous. I enjoy that sort of thing. Let's see, have I missed anybody here? Moonchild, good morning. How you doing? Come in and have some coffee with us. I'm Starbucks. Or boy, I almost blew that. Dunkin' is my cup of choice. Don't like that other place. I won't say the name, Starbucks, but there you go. I will say that from Dunkin', I've never had scorched coffee. I've never had burnt coffee. I've never had coffee that didn't taste exactly the way I expected it to. And again, that's an unsolicited endorsement. And Nicole's got me drinking iced coffee. Some I never really drank iced coffee till I moved out here, and it's a treat. Now on a chilly morning like this, I do love my hot coffee. She still drinks it cold. Occasionally she'll have a cup of hot, but you know, I've got 42 of you in here this morning. More early risers. Good to see you. Good to see you. I've got some other things I wanted to tell you about. Anybody in here listen to Clyde Lewis on Ground Zero Radio? You know Clyde, he's out of Portland, Oregon. He's on, I think, a little over 200 radio stations, actual radio stations. And then he's on all the streaming services, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, all the ones I can't remember. Oh, Slowboy said, listen to Clyde when I was on there. Well, tomorrow night, Friday, I'm going to be on Clyde's show talking about the Alaskan Triangle and all the strange disappearances and weird things that go on there. But the other part of that is Clyde has given me a show on his Ground Zero radio network. I'm going to be on Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. That's 9 to 11 East Coast time, I hope. I can't math in my head. I'm an Aspie. Numbers escape me. But check out Clyde Lewis. Let me see if I've got a link here to just his Ground Zero. Now, they don't have my link up over there yet. I just recorded stuff for the first episode yesterday. And my first episode will be this Sunday, October 1st. I've got a show on the Ground Zero Radio Network. We're in good company over there. Of course, Clyde, the man himself, he's a friend of mine. I know him from Portland. And I've been in the studio with him a couple of times. And then also, I've been a guest on his show several times. He likes to have me on to talk about missing people and strangeness like that, of course. But I've also gone on, talked about vampires, and that's another fascinating thing here in New England. There's a lot of vampire legends here. Exeter, Rhode Island, the grave of Mercy Brown, the girl that the town decided she was a vampire, exhumed her body, and sure enough, her hair and nails had grown. Now I've heard that can happen anyway, but she had fresh blood in her mouth, and there was no decomposition. I won't go into it here, but look up that story of the vampires in New England, and there's more than one, and it's just fascinating. I mean, that's Stephen King fodder right there. I love it. And of course, he's from the great state of Maine as well. Yeah, Bobo, there can be some rowdy people up there depending on where you go. The pull off that's right there on the side of the highway on the other side, I didn't care for that one. The one that I went to, you had to drive this gravel road way back through the woods and then hike down to the place. But there's a nice overlook there, and I've been there a lot of times and had it to myself, or maybe only one or two other people there. And there is there's a not like a porta potty, but like a forestry service, park service outhouse up there. So you've got a place you can go to the bathroom, and I think they allow rough camping. Now this was back in the '90s, but I built a fire up there, so rules may have changed. You check when you go there, but it's worth the effort to get to the good place to see it. Equestrian chick or chic, good to see you. Daryl Fawcett. Well, buddy, we've got that plan later in October. We are headed to Salem, so I don't want to be there for Halloween. I've told that that's like going to New Orleans when Mardi Gras is happening. But we'll go up a few days before Halloween and celebrate my early birthday up there. Looking forward to it. And yeah, Mike, I agree with you. It's overpriced. It's not doesn't usually taste that good. I used to enjoy their coffee until Nicole, my lovely wife, got me hooked on Dunkin'. I love this stuff. Try to have some every day. And it reheats well. Sometimes if I get one of these extra large cups and I have some left over, I'll put it in the fridge and then heat it on the stove. We don't own a microwave. Don't want one. Prefer to do things without one. Yeah, I imagine it is a zoo on Halloween. But this coffee even reheats good. Um, Snuffling Hedgehog. I like that name. Hello from England. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Daryl knows Dunks is the best. That's what they call it out here, Dunks. And Nicole was saying in the chat earlier, there is one on literally every corner here. And then every other corner has a packy, which is what they call a package store. I'm a teetotaler myself, excuse me, but I do enjoy the Dunkin' on every corner. Literally, I think I could probably throw a rock down the hill here and hit a Dunkin'. And I have seen, there was one place we passed through where there was a Dunkin' Donuts here, and if you cross the road, directly across from it was another Dunkin' Donuts. So you come out of Dunkin', you go, wow, that was some good coffee. You know, I'd really like to have another cup of coffee. Hey, there's a Dunkin' across the street. I'll go over there. Somebody said that's the end of the world when there's a Dunkin' Donuts across the street from a Dunkin' Donuts. But I get it. You know, morning traffic or whatever. Some people don't want to cross traffic to get there, so got them on both sides of the road. Have at it. Vixendo has two Dunkins there in Belfast. Yeah, Moonshine, I've never been to Mardi Gras. I've been to the Big Easy, but I didn't go there during Mardi Gras time, and I was told by some of the locals that you probably didn't want to be there. So I don't like big crowds and stuff like that. Uh, I think the right word is agoraphobic. Or is that? Anyway, I kind of wig out in big crowds sometimes. Not wig out. I just get nervous and have to get out of the crowd. So I don't want to be in a scene like that. One of the worst experiences I ever had when I lived in Las Vegas. And New Year's Eve, they closed down the Las Vegas Strip and most of the side streets, except for the very top of the up near the Stratosphere, some of those side streets, and then down past can't remember the resort down there, Mandalay Bay. South of there, you can get around, but they closed down the main drag through Vegas, the fabled Vegas Strip, and it fills up with revelers. And at that time, I was working at Treasure Island, and the company that I was working for is a vendor. I had to go to MGM to drop off the receipts. Well, that's the other side, the other end of the strip, basically. So, and I'm carrying cash. I've got a bank bag full of cash. I stuffed it in my clothes, and I walked from Treasure Island down to MGM in a crowd of over half a million people. That's what they estimated was out there in the streets. I think it might have been less than that. Some people said it was half a million. Some people said it was only 300,000, but it was a lot of people. Let me tell you, and it normally that walk would take you 10 or 15 minutes. It took me over 2 hours. That's how crowded it was. Just people to people to people, and I just whew, not my cup of tea. I don't like a big crush of a crowd like that because all it takes is one person to shout something and excite the crowd, and you'll get trampled to death or worse. So don't enjoy crowds. So Mardi Gras wouldn't be for me, and sadly, Salem on Halloween night won't be for me. But we'll go a few days prior to Halloween, and check it out. We talked about going to Tarrytown, New York, and doing the Headless Horseman and all that, but I think we're going to do Salem instead. Nora Harris, how are you doing this morning? Good to see you. Bobo, I didn't see the estate, but I did see the graveyard, the grave in, I think that's that cemetery number one, cemetery number two, there in the old part of New Orleans. I visited the grave, and people leave stuff there and put stuff there, but I didn't see her estate. And let's see, Joanne, Yoda Girl, one of our newest mods, is here. Good to see you, Joanne. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat here and see if I missed anybody. Slowboy says Dunkin', like Subway sandwich shops here, and both chains typically run by the same people as well. Franchisees love people from India. I don't really care for Subway. I cook. I love to cook. I'm a good cook if I do say so myself. But Nicole tells me all the time what a good cook I am. Came by it honest. My mother had 9 brothers, and 7 of those brothers were restaurateurs. A couple of them had more than one restaurant over time. And my grandmother cooked for 10 kids, a husband, her mother, a couple of aunts, her sisters, and army of farmhands. They had a dairy farm and a truck farm. So I learned to cook for my grandmother and my mother. But when we do want sub sandwiches or something like that, some of these local pizza places have just some incredible, they call them grinders here. Down south they call it a hoagie. But there's some good food like that here. And it's a chain, but Jersey Mike's has got awesome subs. They tend to be a little on the expensive side, but you can make a couple of meals out of them. Let's see who else is here. Daylight Donuts. I've never had the pleasure. Krispy Kreme. Now that was what we had in East Tennessee. Everybody go to Krispy Kreme. The one on Kingston Pike anyway was open 24 hours. And the light, they had a sign outside that they would light up fresh donuts now, and they had just taken them out of the oven, and you could go in and get fresh hot donuts. And a friend of mine knew somebody that worked there, and he worked at a video store, and he worked out a deal where he would give free video rentals for Krispy Kreme donuts. So there was many times we pulled up to the back of that Krispy Kreme and loaded 5 or 6 boxes of fresh hot donuts in the trunk of our car, and then good times. That was when I was a teenager. Since I mentioned the video store, you could tell it wasn't any time soon. Hey, Gurfy, how you doing? Good to see you. Krispy Kreme's good, but Dunkin' has the best coffee, to me. And I was talking about that with Cisco Murdoch on her show. And I'd forgotten about this, but at one time Dunkin' Donuts had chicken soup and chili. I don't remember the chili, but she worked at a Dunkin' Donuts. But I remember the chicken soup from when I was a kid, and I remember Dunkin' Munchkins. I had to have a box of those. Excuse me, you can clear my throat there. Yeah, we have Firehouse here too. I first became acquainted with Firehouse when I lived in Orlando. I worked for Nickelodeon as a live show producer, and there was a Firehouse subs just up the street. We'd send out for lunch from there sometimes, and also Uno Pizza. That's another chain. Deep dish pizzas, good stuff. And let's see, Star Wars J, walking the dog and listening from London. Hello to you and tell your dog I said hi. Let's see. Yep, Kelly, that's the very one. Right there between is that Paper Mill Road and I can't remember what the other street is. I've been gone from Knoxville for a long time, since 2003. So 20 years. I haven't been to East Tennessee in 20 years. Kim, how you doing? Oh, hello to your cats. I'll have to check out those Daylight Donuts. Now, I'm a night person myself, but Daylight Donuts, like here we've got the Insomnia Cookie Company. Um, Before I moved here, I sent Nicole a dozen gourmet cookies for her birthday, and accidentally, instead of having it delivered at noon, I had it delivered at midnight. And before I could get it, before she could get out there and get them, something, something got into there, and did it just get one cookie? I don't remember. The insomnia cookies, was it one?
6.
Yeah, something got into the box, and got one. It chewed into the box and got one of the cookies. So I'm thinking there's a lot of wildlife here, but probably a skunk or a raccoon or I think a raccoon would have just opened the box though. But she ate the rest of them anyway and lived to tell the tale. So tell the tale. Got it backwards. But yeah, the Insomnia Cookie Company, and they're open, I think till 2 or 3 a.m. So if you get a craving, and I probably doesn't have anything to do with marijuana being legal here, and there's a dispensary on every other corner where there's not a Dunkin' Donuts or a Packy. Hey, Orphan Annie, Petros, chili and chips. Wow. I used to get Petros at the ones in West Town Mall all the time. And I was first introduced to that at the 1982 World's Fair. That's where Petros started. I love Petros. You take a bag of Fritos, turn it on its side, cut it open, and then you put whatever you like in there: chili, cheese, shredded cheese, sour cream, onions, salsa, and then you walk around and eat that with a spoon. Now you can get it in a bowl. Um, I don't even know if they still have a Petros in West Town Mall, but that was a great place to eat. Love Petros. Petros chili and chips. But Orphan Annie, good to see you. You're starting to get some color there in your part of East Tennessee. It's just starting here in New England. This cold weather little cold snap here will really bring the color out of the leaves. I'm really looking forward to it. Excuse me, coffee making me hiccup. And let's see what else I got to tell you about. I'm starting a blog. How many people here would like a Steve Stockton blog? It's called Around the Campfire, and it's going to be stuff that I write that's not going into any books or anything. And there's a way that I can attach audio files too. So some of it I'll narrate, but most of it will be written. I'll put a link to that in the community tab too. I'm going to drop some links over there. I'm going to drop a link to Clyde's show, and then my show on Clyde's network. As soon as I get the link up there, waiting for me to get everything set up over there. Oh, I didn't show you. I've got some artwork for it. Let me. What's going on here? There we go. There, okay. I shared this StreamYard with Lee G over at First Floor Audio, and all I was seeing was his stuff. And I thought, wait a minute, where's all my stuff? But the radio show that's going to be on the Ground Zero Radio Network Sunday nights for 2 hours from 6 to 8 Pacific. That's 9 to 11 East Coast time. It's called, where'd it go? Let me do it as an overlay here. It's not going to show up. There you go. Steve Stockton's Everything Out There. Now, the concept behind that, Clyde and his producer wanted me to do something spooky. Now, Clyde covers a lot of supernatural stuff, and he tends to go more toward the esoteric. And they wanted me to cover stuff, spooky stuff, ghost stories, poltergeist, the supernatural, the paranormal, cryptids, even missing people. Literally everything out there. And it's, look at that, I'm a blockhead. You just see my hands. But that's where I got the name. Everything out there, literally everything under the sun and the moon and the stars. We'll talk about it over there. And that's coming up. The first episode will be this weekend, Sunday, October 1st, 9 to 11 East Coast time, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. I hope I'm doing those numbers right. Said Aspie. I have number dyslexia, mild, but it's there. But stay tuned for that. I'll be dropping a link for that for you. I'll have a link for the blog for those of you that are interested in that. Let's see. Hey, there's Scott. Scott's Life and Interest. How you doing, buddy? I think I'm going to make some banana bread in that wonderful bread maker you gave us as a wedding gift. Scott's a great guy. He gave us a really nice bread maker as a wedding gift. And I think today would be a good day for banana bread. Do you agree? got a vigorous nod on that one. Let's see. What did I miss here? Bobo, sorry you have to go, buddy, but come back and see us anytime. Thank you, sir. Ozark Hillbilly says Indian Summer there. I think we've already had that here, although I think early next week it's supposed to get up in the 70s here again. I like highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. That's my kind of weather, and especially if it's cloudy and rainy and overcast. Now, Vixen, I probably won't do a vlog, a video blog. It'll be a written blog, and you can read it on the web. You can read it in the app. I think you can get an email. I'm still working out all the particulars, but that's going to be called Around the Campfire. And got the artwork here. Nicole helped me pick this one out. Let me see the overlay. Let me add this and see what you think. But it's going to be stories but in a blog format. Although there will be some audio attached to it sometimes, and pictures of our travels here in New England. It's a good way just to keep in touch and show you what I'm up to without actually having to do a website, which I'm a kind of averse to that because I can maintain it myself. I know how to do that kind of stuff, but I'd rather spend that time making videos for you guys. But that's the graphics for it, the thumbnail, if you will. Isn't that a cozy campfire in the deep woods? Look at the conifers in the back there, full moon. And I think there was a full moon last night. I took Mulder out about, I think it's around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it looked like a full moon. Cold, misty out there. He loves it here in New England too. But Around the Campfire with Steve Stockton, that'll be coming up as soon as I can get it all put together, and then there'll be regular posts over there. But a lot going on. I like to communicate. I like to create. I'm just I'm a writer at heart. I didn't even know I could do this. I kind of fell into this backwards. But writing is my first true love. I love the language, and as they say, I'm a cunning linguist. Sometimes I love the written word and all that entails. Love language, and English is what I studied, although that's overkill for what I do now. And yeah, Sasha Bell dropped my link tree there. I don't think I've updated that with everything, but he pretty much got all the links here in this chat, and I will put things on the community post. But check out the book sale. That's through the end of September, so that'll be done by Sunday. 25% off signed copies of National Park Mysteries and Disappearances, Volume 1, that Steve is holding there. My Strange World, my autobiographical account of some of the paranormal things I've experienced. And Strange Things in the Woods, my first book. And thanks to everybody who bought this. It was sitting at number 1 for a couple of days again the other day on Amazon. I appreciate that. And of course, the new book series, Mysteries in the Dark, and the 13 Past Midnight series, those are over on Free Reign Publishing, or I'm sorry, freerainbooks.com/Steve Stockton. Free Reign Publishing is my publisher, but Free Reign Books is their website. And they also publish true crime and paranormal, or I'm sorry, medical thrillers. But these, I'm limited to stock on hand in those books. That'll be the last ones I have, probably before the first of the year. So if you want to give one as a gift, they make good Christmas gifts, if I do say so myself. Go ahead and order them now while I've got them available. You can always get them on Amazon, but if you want a signed copy directly from me, and I usually stick some extra stuff in there, some cool stickers or a little note or something. So I appreciate all my readers. Mike, hope you have a good day at work, sir. Thank you. And let's see, I think I'm the radio show, and I'm going to be on with Clyde on his show tomorrow night from, hang on, let me look so I don't give you the wrong time. I don't do well with clocks. Sorry. Let's see, I'm on 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific time talking about the Alaskan Triangle on Clyde Lewis's Ground Zero show tomorrow night. So that's 11 to 1 a.m., 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the East Coast. And then Sunday, my radio show, Everything Out There, premieres also on the Ground Zero Network. And again, many thanks to Clyde and to Ron Patton for giving me a show over there. And I've helped them out before. I've come on as a guest when their guest canceled and they needed somebody in a pinch. I've helped them find guests. Ron will message me and say, hey, do you know anybody that knows about this and can talk about this? And if it wasn't something I could do, I'd try to find him somebody, and I've sent some good guests over there. So Sarah Claire, if I knew him, I would give them to you and for a cut. I've never been lucky at anything like that. I think one time in Kentucky, I was up there visiting, and I'd played the lottery, and I picked enough numbers that it was a $2,000 win. I thought, wow, $2,000. And then I found out I had to share it with like 10 other people, so it ended up being $200. But that was the best I've ever done on the where you pick the numbers. And I think I won a couple $100 on a scratch off one time, but I don't play. You can't win if you don't play, but I don't play. Every now and then when the Powerball is like in the hundreds of millions or a billion or something crazy like that, I'll buy a ticket just for fun. Hey, somebody's going to win it. Hey, thanks for checking out Ground Zero over there, DKL. Watch the community tab on this channel, and I'll post a link to my radio show when it's up and ready to go. And let's see. I was thinking I saw another comment here that I wanted to comment on. You guys are chatty and everything's scrolling by. Stephanie O'Connell, good to see you here. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, it wasn't on purpose. DKL, I mentioned you there, but I didn't actually say good morning. And the books that she ordered for me, Lindsay Grable Paranormal got some cool stickers in hers. I've got a plethora, a myriad of stickers that Nicole and I are going to sort through and stick in these books. Hey, Glommerus77, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Betty Dan Boop, good morning to you too. Sarah Claire, she's asking what I think of that, the alien info with the 3 mini bodies. I was talking to a doctor, a medical doctor, a surgeon, and he's a friend of mine, and he thinks there's something to that. Now, he's more into he calls them UAPs. I'm old-fashioned. To me, they're UFOs. Lucky I don't say flying saucer. But he thinks there's something to that. He thinks we're on the verge of maybe not full disclosure, but a bigger disclosure. So it's fascinating. I need to delve more into it. That's not really in my wheelhouse. I'm familiar with a lot of those cases and encounters. One of the neatest ones, most fascinating ones that I've looked into recently was here in New England in the Berkshires UFO incident. If you're not familiar with that one, look that up. And it's another one of those where there was multiple witnesses from different walks of life in different places. And I don't think that many people are just telling a made-up story when they don't know each other and they all saw and described the same thing, experienced the same thing to a degree. Now, that's just my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Glommer says I've lost 10 years since I got married, and I don't doubt it. I know my hair got darker. It's not as obvious in this light, and I just had it cut recently, but even Nicole agrees that I look younger than I used to. And keeping everything trim. I've lost a lot of weight, too. And that's intentional. This is a sedentary lifestyle, and when I was just on my own, I didn't get out. I didn't go anywhere. Didn't do anything. I just sat in the house for basically the last 5 years. So, making up for it now. We get out. We have a good time. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it off. Thank you, Lindsay. Says love suits you. Danny, Fast Hemi, he's got a show on, can't think of the name, it's like a music show. It's on a different platform. But he said, love looks good on you, Steve. Boy, it does. Happiest I've ever been. All right, folks, I think I've taken up an hour of your day. I think I'm going to get on out of here. But check out the book sale. Check out the new series over on freerainbooks.com. Let me go ahead and drop that link again. That includes the Mysteries in the Dark series, the 13 Past Midnight series, and then there's links to get to my other books on there. But these three are the only ones I have copies of on Etsy, and there's not a lot of those available. So now's the time. Like I said, I don't know if I'll have any more before Christmas. But if you want them for a Christmas gift, it's a good time. 25% off. Get a signed copy cheaper than you can buy a regular copy on Amazon. How about that? And told you about the radio show. Got some other good videos coming up. Right now I'm working on the radio show and the blog, but we should have another video up this weekend. I'll go live again, too. I'll probably go live Saturday during the day. Do y'all enjoy these live streams, just sitting and hanging out and just shooting the breeze and chatting? Okay, Moonchild got some cool stickers, too. Yeah, I've got some unusual stickers. Nicole's got her laptop decorated with them, and when I ordered a bunch. So I like putting a little something extra in there. I'll start doing more live streams because, like I said, I enjoy talking and enjoy getting to know you guys, and I appreciate you watching the channel and buying the books and listening to the radio show and reading the blog when that comes out. You're my big extended family. All my family are passed away, my immediate family. But I consider you guys my adopted family. Thank you for being here. I'm going to let you go. Tonight, I'll probably be over with Lee G on First Floor Audio. This is Radio 1FA, where he plays songs that he's created. If you don't know who Lee is, he's a multi-talented, multifaceted, self-taught musician, singer, songwriter, composer. He's written a lot of the music that you hear on my videos, on both here on ATM and on 13 Past Midnight. And the theme music that I have for my radio show, he did that. And Nicole did the intro. It's great. I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Travis. Still hot in Florida, huh? Yeah, I did my time in Central Florida. Can't say that I miss it. Although I enjoyed my time that I worked for Nickelodeon. They were a good outfit to work for. I did live show production. Loved it. But I hope you enjoyed coffee with me this morning. If you like this, I may do this a regular feature when I can. Get up in the mornings. Maybe not so early next time. Some of you said it was a little early. Because it was like 6 hours. I could go even earlier. I could do midnight coffee with Steve. But thank you for being here. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are, you have a good one. Mara Murray. Bennington Triangle. Yeah, we need to get up there and investigate some stuff. I want to go up there and shoot some actual footage. I got Nicole a drone, and she's going to get her FAA license to fly it. And we want to do some original footage from the Bennington Triangle and the Burlington Triangle and Acadia National Park, among other places. Yeah, indeed, we are about to roll in to Spooktober. And if you check out that latest video, it's creepy stories from the Appalachian Trail and surrounding areas. Excuse me, tripped over my tongue there. The Appalachian Trail and surrounding areas. But again, everybody have a great day. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tonight over at Lee's on First Floor Audio. And I'll be live again this weekend. If not tomorrow, tomorrow's Friday, probably Saturday. So take care, everybody. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Thanks for being here. Tell your animals I said hi. And I'll see you a little further on down the trail. Steve Stockton signing off. There you go. Bye, folks.
Bye.